Hi and welcome everyone to another video on my channel. My name is Denis and today we're going to talk about the best forwards you should consider in FPL for Game Week 1. If you enjoy my content, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button, but now let's get into it. Okay, so as I said before, today we're going to talk a little bit about the best forwards you should consider at least for Game Week 1 for FPL, and we can't really have that discussion without talking a little bit about Erling Haaland, right? Now again, his price for this new season is going to be 14 millions, a little bit expensive for my taste, to be honest with you. I don't see a lot of people having him in their teams. He's not so popular at the moment, but everybody knows what Erling Haaland can do. He was great in the last 2-3 seasons, and maybe a lot of people are underestimating him at the moment. As you can see from the screen, I don't really need to talk too much about his stats from last season. He scored 22 goals and he got 3 assists, considering that he played only 31 games and he didn't start all of those. He was injured for a long period of time last season. That obviously impacted his FPL season, but still he got a lot of goals. He got a lot of FPL points for how many games he played, obviously. So again, we know that Haaland can do really great things. The fixtures are there for Manchester City from Game Week 1 to Game Week 5. As you can see, Wolverhampton, Spurs, Brighton, United are perfectly fine fixtures for Manchester City, for Haaland. Obviously, if you're going to have him into your team, you're just going to play him every game week. And yeah, in Game Week 5, the fixture against Arsenal away is not ideal. It's going to be a little bit tough. But the question is not if Erling Haaland is going to be a great FPL option, a great striker in FPL, but if he's going to be worth the price. So 40 million is a lot. And for me personally, I think that it is a little bit too much to pay for a striker in FPL, considering that we have a lot of expensive options now. Again, depending on which side you are on, maybe you want to go for Mohamed Salah, maybe you want to go for Haaland, maybe you want to go for both. You really need to consider how this is going to impact your team. At the moment, I'm having just Mohamed Salah on my team, and I think that if you want to go with one of them, it is enough. And you can go with both, obviously, but I just think that's going to impact you a little bit. You're going to need to take some sacrifices in your team, and at the moment I don't really want to do that. So again, my advice at the moment is to just try to pick one of them now. Obviously, again, if you think that both of them are going to smash it from the start, then just buy both. If you think that Haaland is going to be better from the start of the season, you can just go with Haaland and then swap to Mohamed Salah. Now obviously you're going to need to make 2 transfers to do that, but it is not such a big problem. We have a lot of chips this season. In terms of performances, I think that Haaland is going to improve this season. I think that City are going to improve this season. So again, I'm expecting them to be a better team overall from what they were last season. Now obviously they signed some players, we need to see how they're going to adapt, but Erling Haaland is pretty much a constant in that team, so he's going to be the number 9. He's going to play 90 minutes every game week, he's going to be on penalties, and he's going to get some good positions. Now they lost Kevin De Bruyne, but again, they have a lot of attacking midfielders who could help Haaland to score a lot of goals. So I'm not afraid to say it. Erling Haaland is going to score a lot of goals this season, and he's going to be a great FPL option at some point, no doubt into my mind about these things. But again, it really depends if you think that it is worth it, the price. For just 0.5 millions, you can have someone like Mohamed Salah. Now, again, maybe you're questioning if you go with Haaland without Mohamed Salah, you're going to save 0.5 million. So at the end of the day, it really depends if it's going to improve your team or not. But at the moment, I don't think that he's worth that price. Now, please let me know in the comments down below what's your opinion with Erling Haaland. Are you going to pick him for your team? Next on the list, we have Alexander Isak from Newcastle, but I really want to move fast with this one because I think that he's a clear avoid for Game Week 1. Now, Alexander Isak, an amazing player. He was the best scorer, the best forward in FPL last season. He scored 23 goals, as you can see. The fixtures are decent for Newcastle, but the problem is we don't know where he's going to end up. So at the moment, even if he's going to play for Newcastle, even if he's going to go to Liverpool, I don't think that he's going to be ready for Game Week 1. And for that reason, I think that he's a big avoid for Game Week 1, maybe even for Game Week 2, Game Week 3. Definitely at some point he's going to be a great FPL option at 10.5 millions. but not at the moment. Next on the list, we have two forwards priced at 7.5 millions, Chris Wood from Nottingham Forest and Joao Pedro from Chelsea. Now here there are a lot of other forwards, so Isak could be an option at that price, but at the moment we don't know where he's going to end up, and also Mateta from Crystal Palace, but I just think that the fixtures are not amazing for the start of the season, and I much rather just pick someone like Joao Pedro or Wood for the safety. But Mateta, again, on penalties for Crystal Palace at some point is going to be a great option. Now if we talk about these players, as you can see, Joao Pedro is the new striker for Chelsea. What I don't really like about him is, obviously, you can't really say a lot of things you don't like about Joao Pedro. He's scoring in every game week in the preseason, so he's looking like he's going to be the main striker for Chelsea. Now again, they still have someone like Delap, they have Jackson at the moment, but Jackson probably is going to go at some point. But if he's not going to transfer out, his minutes are not going to be amazing this season, and probably Delap is going to get some minutes. Now I think that Joao Pedro is going to be a starter most games for Chelsea. They have a lot of offensive player, but Joao Pedro at the moment he's on fire, so I think that he's going to start the season. Obviously the fixtures are great for Chelsea, so yeah, pretty much he's a decent option. His ownership is huge at the moment. I just think that if you don't like your players to get 60 maybe 70 minutes, then maybe Joao Pedro is not the guy for you, because he's not going to play 90 minutes, I think, every game week. That's my problem. Now his stats from last season are not that irrelevant. He played for Brighton, he didn't start all the games, he played 27 games, he scored 10 goals. Chris Wood scored 20. We're going to talk a little bit about Chris Wood. Overall I think that Joao Pedro, it is a little bit of a risky pick in terms of minutes, because he's not going to get 90 minutes every game week, so I don't think that he's for everyone if you're going to get frustrated about that. But I'm expecting him to be a starter for Chelsea, and the lap 2 came in at 60, 70, 80 minutes, something like this every game week. Now, if we talk a little bit about Chris Wood, I think that he's a safer pick in terms of minutes, but obviously Joao Pedro is the more explosive player, the player I would want to have in my FPL team usually. Now, Chris Wood is on penalties also, so that's a big plus, but as you can see from the screen, his XG for last season was 13.56, and he scored 20 goals. So Chris Wood overperformed pretty much. Nottingham Forest overperformed. Now what I mean by that is Chris Wood scored more goals than he was supposed to, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but again, Nottingham Forest scored just one goal in all the preseason, so I don't think that they're going to be amazing attacking wise this season, but we need to see. I'm expecting them to drop off a little bit from last season. I don't think that they're going to be as good as they were last season, but the fixtures are there for Nottingham Forest, to be honest. So again, if you want to go for someone like Chris Wood, I can't blame you. I think that he's a decent option. Brentford, Crystal Palace and West Ham in the first 3 game weeks is pretty much amazing. Okay, now let's move to the man of the moment, Ollie Watkins. He's firing in the preseason, he's scoring pretty much in every game week. Now he was in my draft from when the game launched, but at the moment I suspect that he's going to be a really popular option for game week 1. He's 9 millions, and there are good reasons to have him into your FPL team. The fixtures for Aston Villa are great: Newcastle, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Everton, Sunderland. I mean, Newcastle and Crystal Palace and maybe Everton are not your usual easy fixtures, but again, you know what I mean. The fixtures are decent for Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins is scoring a lot of goals at the moment in the preseason, and I'm expecting him to do so in the start of the season. Now, obviously, what the player is going to do in the preseason is not really that relevant to what's going to happen in the Premier League, but at the moment we have this info and we should consider it into our thinking. Now there are also other options at that price, and we're going to discuss about that in a minute. Ollie Watkins, I think that he is the safe pick. We don't know if he's going to be on penalties, but there are some chances for him to be. At the moment I think that Tielemans maybe is going to be the design penalty taker, but at some point Ollie Watkins could take them, although he doesn't have really amazing records at penalties. I think that as I said before, the fixtures are decent. He's the main man pretty much with Rodgers from Aston Villa. When they are scoring, you know that it's going to be Rodgers or Ollie Watkins. Now, what I also like about having Ollie Watkins in your Gaming 1 squad, a 9 million forward, is going to be really easy for you to swap him down the road if things are going to go wrong. So for an example, is someone like Gyokeres, Ekitike, Mateta, Wood are going to be banging a lot of goals, and maybe you're not really happy with Oli Watkins, it's going to be a really easy route for you to move to them. And again, I think that there are a lot of good reasons to have Watkins into your team. Okay, so next we're going to talk about two players who are going to be new to the Premier League. Now, sorry, I don't have their stats on the screen, but everybody knows that these two are really amazing as goal scorers. So Gyokeres and Ekitike from Liverpool. 9 millions for Gyokeres, 8.5 millions for Ekitike. I'm going to try to discuss a little bit about them and if they are worthy to have into our FPL squads. Now, obviously, Gyokeres at 9 millions, I think that is going to be an amazing FPL option at some point. But as I discussed before, I think that starting the season, Watkins is a better pick. That's just my opinion, obviously. If you just want to go directly with Gyokeres, that's not a problem whatsoever. The fixtures for Arsenal are not amazing, but they have some decent fixtures here and there, like Leeds in Game Week 2. So I totally understand. If you want to go for Gyokeres, probably there is a big chance that he's going to be also on penalties for Arsenal, and I think that he's going to be a decent option. Now, again, we need to see how he's going to adapt to the Premier League. He wasn't amazing in the preseason or something like that. He just scored one header. It is too little information for us to base our decisions on that. So again, if you want to start with Watkins, then move to Gyokeres. That it's amazing. If you don't just want to go with Gyokeres directly, I think that's a fine plan. Also, if you think that Arsenal are going to be amazing attacking wise this season, there you have it, your striker. Now, again, there are some doubts about Gyokeres. It's not like he's going to play 90 minutes every game week and all the good stuff. There could be some competition with Havertz for that 9 spot. Now, again, I'm expecting Gyokeres to play pretty much all the games, but I'm not sure if he's going to play 90 minutes in all of them. But it maybe well be enough for him to just get 70-80 minutes every game week for him to score a lot of goals. Now, if we talk a little bit about Ekitike, he has an interesting price point, so he's a little bit cheaper than Gyokeres and Watkins, 8.5 millions. I think that he's going to be a decent option, but at the moment there is a lot of uncertainty at Liverpool. I think that they are going to buy some players now, not necessarily in the number 9 position, but I think that they're going to buy maybe a left winger, maybe Isak is going to join, and obviously if Isak is going to join Liverpool, then Ekitike is not going to be such a good option like he would be without Isak. So again, I think that there is a risk if you're going with him. Again, I think that he's fine for the first 2, 3, 4 game weeks. Isak is not looking like he's joining Liverpool anytime soon. So again, for the start of the season, I think that Ekitike is going to get a lot of minutes, and in that case, I think that he's a great FPL option. Don't get me wrong. From Liverpool, they are going to score a lot of goals, but I think that it is a little bit of a risk because if they're going to buy a striker, suddenly Ekitike is not going to be a starter probably for Liverpool anymore. So again, you need to really be careful with these decisions. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about Evanilson and Bowen. So Evanilson, he's 7 millions, Bowen 8 millions. These players are pretty interesting for FPL. I don't think that they are really popular at the moment, and maybe for Evanilson the fixtures are not amazing. In game week 1 at least, they're going to play against Liverpool away. After that, the fixtures are going to get a little bit better. Now with Cliver out, we don't know how much long he's going to be out, but Evanilson could be on penalties, so that's a big plus for him. He was pretty decent last season in terms of goals and assists, but yeah, it is a really interesting price point, 7 millions. Maybe that's making people a little bit to think maybe you can just get a 6.5 million forward better than him, or if you want to go a little bit higher, you can have someone like Bowen. But I think that Evanilson is a little bit maybe underestimated, and I think that he could be a great option from that team. Yeah, Bournemouth lost a lot of their defenders, but their attack is pretty much intact, so I'm expecting them to score a lot of goals this season. Now, if we talk about Bowen, from West Ham we have at the moment a 6 million forward, someone like Fulcrum, who's actually going to play as a forward. So I think that they mistakenly changed the position for Bowen, so now he's going to be a forward. That's why I think that not a lot of people are really picking him into their FPL squads. Now I'm still expecting Bowen to be a decent option. I think that he's going to be the top scorer player from West Ham, obviously, but I'm not sure if the position change is helping him. The price, surely 8 millions is not too much for someone like Bowen. He was amazing in the last part of the season, but the fixtures are just not there for West Ham. I really like the game week 1 fixture. Obviously it's fantastic against Sunderland, but after that the fixtures are going to be a little bit tough for attacking wise, so it's going to be tough for the attackers. But yeah, his stats last season were amazing. He's going to be a decent option, and also this season we have a lot of good forwards in FPL, and yeah, that's why I think that at the moment Bowen, he's not into my team, and I don't think that he's one of the top options, but definitely I think that he's going to do fine. Now in the last part of the video we're going to talk a little bit about Strand Larsen and Welbeck, so two 6.5 million forwards, and I'm going to try to give you my opinion on which one to pick. It is a little bit tough because both of them are on penalties for their teams. Now we need to see if Strand Larsen is going to keep them, and yeah, at the moment in the preseason both of them are not performing amazing. That's why maybe a lot of people are trying to find other options at the moment. I think that they are good options for FPL. So as I said before, both of them are not scoring a lot of goals in the preseason. Last season, Strand Larsen scored 14 goals, Welbeck 10. Obviously, now Welbeck is going to be on penalties if he's going to be on the pitch, probably. Again, they have also someone like Ruther who is playing as a striker in some games, so I'm not really sure how his minutes are going to be. I think that Welbeck's minutes are going to be a little bit damaged by the other offensive players. So when Joao Pedro left for Chelsea, I just thought that Welbeck is going to be better minutes, but I have to say that maybe I was a little bit wrong there, because at the moment I think that he's not looking like he's going to get 90 minutes every game week. He's getting older, obviously, but again, I'm expecting him to start game week 1. And the first fixtures, obviously, and after that if he's going to perform well, then he could retain the place. But again, if you don't want to take any risks, Strand Larsen obviously is a younger striker who's probably going to get more minutes. It really depends on your preferences. Probably both of them are going to be on penalties. The fixtures for Wolverhampton are a little bit tougher at the start of the season, but they are going to get better a little bit after that. So Manchester City, Bournemouth, Everton is not an amazing start of the season. These three teams usually defended really well last season. Now obviously Bournemouth lost all their defenders, so probably Bournemouth away is a decent fixture now. But again, if you want to pick between these two, I think that at the moment I would just pick Strand Larsen if you want to be safe for the future, and also if you want to have good fixtures long term. If you want to take a punt, maybe not a punt is the right word to call it, but Welbeck at penalties at 6.5 millions, I don't think that he's a bad option. Currently he was into my team. Now I'm slowly starting to think to remove him from my team, but again, I think that he could be a decent option depending on how he's going to perform, obviously, for the start of the season. Thank you so much for watching this long. I really hope that this video helped you a little bit, and yeah, I really appreciate it. If you enjoy my content, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye. Bag buralar, când mă întreabă oamenii de unde sunt, le zic de va. Apoi îmi bag